Hi yogis, welcome to your yin practice. My name is Tony Fudge and I'll be guiding you through your practice today. I'm wearing a nice warm sweater, so if you guys want to put a sweater on, I have socks on. Get yourself super cozy. Even if you want to bring a blanket to your mat, you can do that. I'm going to be using a bolster for practice. If you don't have a bolster, a pillow can work really good for this, or if you roll up a couple towels together so that you can use it as a bolster. So when you're ready, let's get started, and we're gonna find supported fish to start. All right, so for supported fish, we're gonna wanna take our bolster. It's gonna be parallel to our spine, okay? So have the bolster laying on your mat, parallel to the mat. You're going to bring the bolster or the prop just around to like the low back here, so a sacrum area. You're gonna plant your feet onto the mat. You're gonna just plant your hands and then start to roll down onto your bolster, okay? Starting to ease down nice and gently. You can bring the arms out by the sides. Start to close your eyes and start to arrive in the space. Maybe if you feel good here and you want to extend your legs, you start to gently walk the legs down towards the corner edges of the mat. And you close your eyes. Start to really allow yourself to come into this present moment. Starting to notice maybe the sounds around you. Maybe you notice the heat of the space. Maybe if you have music playing, you notice the music. Maybe you start to notice the sound of your heartbeat. Just becoming ultra aware here. And you start to deepen the breath, so deepen the inhales. Maybe hold the inhale at the top and then extend the exhales. Maybe holding the exhale at the bottom. Taking those breaths, big inhales through the nose. And exhales gently, let it go. Trying to soften with every exhale. And in our yin practice, we hold our shapes, our poses, our asanas for 2 minutes all the way up to 10 minutes to put positive stress on the body, on the muscles, the ligaments, the tendons, the joints, and even the fascia. The fascia is our connective tissue that connects the entire body. It's like a saran wrap that wraps around the entire body. And it can be a little bit tougher to stretch. So this practice, our yin practice, helps us to open up that connective tissue. Not only do we get into our physical body, we start to notice what's going on in the mental body, the energetic body. Trying to slow down our thoughts and calm our central nervous system here. And in our supported fish, we are opening up through our chest, through our heart chakra, our shoulders. So maybe you start to create an intention around your heart, maybe around love, being open to receive love and open to give love. I allow love into my life. My heart is open to receiving love. I'm open to seeing love within the world around me. I'm not afraid to give my love to others. Tapping into an intention for the rest of practice, maybe find something that works for you here. I'm just going to take about 5 more deep breaths. Big inhale through your nose. And big exhale. Settling into the pose. We're going to move slow out of this pose. So maybe you slowly start to blink open the eyes. If you extend the legs long, you're going to start to bend through your knees and plant your feet onto the mat. I like to take my elbows underneath me, tuck my chin towards my chest, and then use a little bit of my core to push myself up onto my elbows and then up onto my hands, coming all the way up, and just remove your bolster out of the way. And you're just going to come to lay back on the back, finding a nice flat spine here. Just this pose can be a bit sneaky, so really be gentle with your body. Take a few breaths here in stillness. And then we're going to come into supported bridge. So keeping the feet underneath the knees, about hip distance apart, you're going to press into the feet. You're going to take the bolster and you're going to slide it underneath your hips. It's going to lie just underneath your sacrum. So where the fleshy bits of your glutes meet the low back, that's where you're going to want to put it. You're going to place the hips down onto your prop. You can have your knees bent here, or you can stay here just like this. Or you can come and walk your feet nice and long down the mat, bringing them about mat distance apart, rolling your shoulders down and back, and allow yourself to close your eyes. Opening up the front line of the body here. So really opening up through our abs, into our belly, down towards our hip flexors, into our quads. So can you send your breath towards those areas? Always try to send the breath towards a place of sensation here. And keeping the eyes closed if you can, and start to settle back in to stillness. And coming back into that present moment. Noticing your inhales and noticing your exhales. In our yin practice, we want to find stillness in the mind, stillness in the body, and stillness in the breath. And when I say stillness in the mind, I don't mean a completely quiet mind. Now, although that is a goal, doesn't mean that your mind's going to be completely quiet this entire time. It just means you want to find a focused mind. Maybe you're focusing on your breath. Maybe you're focusing on that intention that you set. Maybe you're focusing on the sounds around you. Just trying to keep your awareness in the present moment. And when the mind starts to wander, starts to drift, starts to run away from you, the challenge is to bring it back. Always bringing it back through center, coming back towards center. Finding this peace in the moment, right here, right now. Nothing else to do, nowhere else to be. Sit with yourself and breathing, and allowing yourself to feel this peace and the stillness. And then when the mind starts to find stillness and quiet, this is when the body can start to find more stillness. There's no urge to itch, move, scratch, fidget. The body is just allowed. The body is just being. It's completely calm. Then when I talk about a stillness of the breath, I don't mean holding your breath. It means like a nice, gentle breath in and out. Almost finding that matching breath. So you're almost inhaling for kind of 4 or 5. And then you're exhaling for that same amount of time. And this helps to calm the central nervous system. Calming the body, calming the mind, calming the heart. And putting your body in that rest and digest state, where the body and the mind really find peace. You're only going to be here for about 5 more deep inhales and 5 more deep exhales. Then when you're ready, if you started to extend the legs long, you're just going to allow yourself to bend through your knees and plant your feet about hip distance apart. There's no rush to get out of these poses. All we're going to do is we're going to press into the feet. You're going to lift the hips about an inch off of your prop, and you're going to roll your prop down underneath your knees. And then allow your hips to drop down. And then you're going to open your knees nice and wide, palms of the feet together, knees spread wide, finding that Supta Baddha Konasana shape. So you're going to be supported by your bolster here. If this is too gentle and you're like, I want a little bit deeper of a stretch, amazing. All you have to do is remove your bolster or slide the bolster down underneath your feet so that you're lifting your feet higher off the ground and you can find a deeper opening through your hips. And then once you've found your shape, allow your arms to either melt by your sides, rest on your body, or maybe even coming into a T shape if that feels good, to open up deeper through your chest. Maybe you start to bring your mind's eye to the third eye center. And just focus on that place, that space between the eyebrows and on the forehead here. Taking those deep inhale breaths and those deep exhales. And notice if you're lifting your chin, if you started to lift the chin up towards the sky, can you tuck the chin slightly towards the chest so that you have a nice long spine from the crown of the head all the way to the tip of the tailbone? And just taking about 5 more deep breaths here. Take the big inhales and the big exhales. Take one more deep inhale and one more deep exhale. And then when you're ready, you can bring the hands towards the knees and you're going to start, or towards the outer edges of the legs, and then you're going to start to press the legs up. Be really gentle with your hips. Allow your feet to land on the mat. And then if you'd like, you can take some gentle windshield wipers from side to side just to release the low back, release the hips. Just move gently here. If you want to add a little bit of cervical spine movement, you can start to turn your gaze towards the opposite shoulder of the knees that fall over towards the opposite side. Yeah, awesome. Just moving gently here. Beautiful. And then draw the knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a nice hug, a nice squeeze, maybe a little rock from side to side. Say something nice to yourself. Be your biggest cheerleader, your best friend, not your worst enemy. And then start to roll over onto the side. And press yourself up towards seated. We're going to take the palms of our feet together, but we're going to come a little deeper into our outer hips. So you're going to slide the heels into a nice big diamond shape. If you want to place blocks or something underneath your knees here, you can. We're going to take our bolster or our prop, and if this feels good, you can start to rest your forehead down on it like this. Or if you want to get a little deeper, you allow the bolster to just rest here, so then you can roll down onto your prop and then allow your forehead to rest down. Just getting deeper into our outer hips, putting a little bit more pressure on the outer hips here. Getting into our back line of our body now, just a little bit more. As we worked on our front line, we're going to start to get a little deeper into the lower back, into our spine, by finding this forward bend as we open up through our outer hips. And can you send your breath towards your belly? And then as you exhale, can you squeeze the belly button towards the spine a little more? Maybe you find a little bit more depth. We'll just take a couple more breaths here. And then when you're ready, you can start to roll yourself up. Move slow, move gentle. There's no rush. And then we're going to move our prop, but just for a second, because we're going to straighten the legs out now. You can place the prop just like it was before, either on its end and you roll your forehead onto it, or you can have it on the legs so that you can roll down onto it. Coming into our Paschimottanasana, forward fold over the legs. If this is too much still and you want to bring your prop underneath your knees and then you want to roll down here, that's a beautiful shape. I'm actually going to stay in this shape here. Feels really nice. Opening up the back line of the body. And just allow your shoulders to settle, your forehead to settle. And send your breath towards the places of sensation. Softening through your jaw, softening through your forehead. And in this pose, you're actually putting a little bit of compression on the belly. And as you inhale and exhale, you're massaging through your internal organs here, which is going to help to detoxify your body from the inside out. And it's going to help with digestion. So you may even feel the body and the belly moving around, making some noises. And just know that you're helping your digestive system. You're massaging those organs. And then when you're ready, slowly start to roll yourself up. And you're going to come into, we're going to get a little deeper back into the front line of the body. We're going to take our bolster just on the top of the mat here. We're going to find Melting Heart with a few options. If Melting Heart just isn't for you, you can always come into a child's pose and have the arms on your bolster and you rest your chest and your forehead down. This is a beautiful place to open up through the chest. But if you want to take Melting Heart, option to use your bolster underneath your arms or underneath your forehead. So start to bring the chest down and maybe you place the forehead onto your prop, or maybe you roll the prop forward and you drop your forehead down towards the mat. This is going to be a little bit more challenging. So just find something that works really good for you and your body. And then we're going to stay here for about 2 minutes. If you're coming into Melting Heart, you want to have your hips stacked over your knees. Your feet are going to be nice and parallel on the mat. Your forehead is planted on the mat here. And then you're going to send your breath in towards your chest and towards the heart. If this becomes too much at any point and you want to settle your hips back into child's pose, always that option to do so. But try your best to find your stillness here and then just use your breath. Using your big inhales and your slow and steady exhales to get you through this. And just take 5 more deep breaths here. And then when you're ready, you're going to start to push yourself back up. Bring the hands back underneath the shoulders. Maybe take some cat-cows. Inhale, drop the belly, gaze, lift, sit bones reach high. And then as you exhale, you round your spine. Tuck the tailbone under. And just take a couple of those just to release. We're going to come down into Sphinx pose. So you're going to start to lay onto the belly. Your shoulders are going to stack over your elbows. I like to take my bolster underneath my low ribs here. So I roll my bolster underneath my low ribs. I just kind of tuck it in. This This pose is for our low back. So we're reestablishing this curve of the low back of the spine here. So having the bolster or the prop underneath that is really going to support the body without putting any pressure on the arms, the forearms, the shoulders. The feet are nice and relaxed. The glutes are nice and relaxed. The shoulders are relaxed. Maybe you close down the eyes. If it feels good for you and you want to tuck your chin towards your chest, you can do that. And just find a softness through the body, sending the breath towards the belly. And I truly think that this pose is something we should be doing every single day, coming into our Sphinx pose, because so much of us, or so much of our day, is rounding our body forward, rounding through our low back, our spine. We're on our phones, we're texting, we're sitting, we're on the couch, we're driving, we're at our desks all day. And we're rounding, we're finding a fetal position through our spine, where the spine is rounding and the shoulders are coming in, the low back is rounding, the tailbone is tucking under. So this is just helping the back, the spine, find that opposite curve, I guess. So taking a few minutes here every single day is really going to help the health of your spine. And they always say healthy spine, healthy life. Healthy spine, healthy body. And take care of the spine as much as we possibly can. And if you notice if there's any pinching or pain in the low back, and this is just too much for you, at any point you can remove the prop, bring your elbows out, and rest your forehead down onto the hand, onto the bolster or prop here, so then it's not so deep into the low back. So always just meeting your body with where it's at. If it doesn't feel good, if there's pain, always come out of it and just you want to find a slight discomfort throughout the practice, throughout your body, not any pain or pinching. And with this pose, it can cause some pain or pinching in the low back. So come down if you need to come down into a smaller curve of the spine. And you're just going to be here for about another 5 breaths. And then to shift out of this pose, just press into your hands. You're going to remove your prop out of the way. And then you're going to roll down onto your belly. You're going to have your hands one on top of the other, so stacked one on top of the other. And then you're just going to drop your forehead down onto the back of the hands. Good. And then we're going to end our practice here. So this is your belly Shavasana. If a more traditional Shavasana is better for you and you want to roll onto your back, you can take that now, or you can just allow yourself to feel grounded here on the belly. Closing the eyes, allowing yourself to relax, allowing yourself to let go of a Ujjayi breath, or letting go of your intention, and allowing yourself to just be. Just be present, be chill, be still. Nothing else to do, nowhere else to be, but right here, right now. Letting your body reap the benefits of today's practice. And I'm going to leave you here in your practice today in your Shavasana. Please take some time here to just rest and just be. Take at least a couple minutes to allow yourself to really soak up the energy that you just created in the body, that peace, that stillness, that calm that you just created in the body. I want to say thank you so much for showing up for your practice, doing something for you today, and letting me guide you today. From my heart to yours, namaste.